You've probably heard it before. The rich get richer and the poor stay poor. But nobody ever tells you why. It's not because wealthy people work harder or got lucky. There's something far more powerful happening underneath the surface of your mind. Something neurological, something ancient, something that's been running your financial life without your permission. Your brain is literally wired to keep you poor, and if you don't understand how, you'll stay trapped forever. Most people who want to get rich never do, because they're unconsciously sabotaging themselves at every turn. The barrier isn't external, it's internal. It lives in your brain. And today, we're going to expose it. Your ancestors survived in a world of scarcity. Food was limited, resources were scarce, threats were everywhere. So your brain evolved an incredibly powerful survival mechanism called scarcity mindset. This wasn't a bug in the system, it was a feature. It kept them alive. But here's the problem. You're still running that ancient software in a modern world of abundance. Your nervous system hasn't updated. When you see an opportunity to invest, to take a financial risk, or to pursue wealth, your ancient brain screams danger. It floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline. Your palms sweat. Your heart races. You freeze. This is loss aversion, the neurological phenomenon that makes losing $10 feel 3 times worse than gaining $30 feels good. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you. But in trying to protect you from loss, it's preventing you from building wealth. Think about how this plays out in real life. You see an investment opportunity. Your rational mind sees potential. But deeper in your brain, in the amygdala, in the ancient limbic system, alarm bells are ringing. What if I lose money? What if this fails? What if everyone finds out I'm not actually smart enough to handle this? These aren't just thoughts. They're neural patterns firing in your brain, releasing stress hormones that literally make it feel dangerous to pursue wealth. If this is clicking for you, drop a like. This insight alone shifts everything about how you see your own barriers. Most people are walking around completely unaware that their fear response is a biological mechanism, not the truth. They think their hesitation is wisdom. They think their caution is prudence. But it's actually just their survival instinct, mistaking modern opportunity for ancient danger. Let's go deeper. There's a concept called the scarcity trap, and it's one of the most insidious barriers to wealth. When you grow up with less, when you've watched your parents worry about money, when you felt the weight of not having enough, your brain creates a neural pattern around that experience. It doesn't just affect your behavior, it affects your perception of reality. Studies show that when people are in scarcity mindset, their IQ literally drops. They can't think clearly about long-term strategy because their brain is stuck in survival mode, focused on the immediate problem. You can't plan for retirement when your nervous system is convinced you're about to starve. You can't invest in education when your brain is screaming that you need to hold on to every dollar right now. The scarcity mindset narrows your vision. It makes you risk-averse. It makes you grab at quick wins instead of building long-term wealth. It makes you believe that success is for other people, people with advantages you don't have. And the worst part, this belief becomes self-fulfilling. Your brain blocks opportunities because it's convinced they won't work anyway. You don't even see them. They pass right by. Your attention literally filters them out before they reach your conscious awareness. This is how the invisible trap works. It's not that rich people are smarter or more talented. It's that their brain isn't screaming danger at every financial decision. Maybe they grew up around money. Maybe they had a mentor. Maybe they just got lucky enough to take one risk that paid off, which rewired their brain to see possibility instead of threat. But somewhere in their neural wiring, the scarcity trap is weaker, or it doesn't exist at all. Now let's talk about what neuroscience calls the fear conditioning response. Your brain learns through experience. If you made a financial mistake once, your amygdala recorded that experience as dangerous. Now, whenever you face a similar situation, that ancient part of your brain activates the fear response. You don't consciously remember the original mistake, but your body does, your nervous system does, and it will do everything it can to prevent you from repeating it. The problem is, this fear response is indiscriminate. It doesn't distinguish between the risky decision that hurt you 10 years ago and the smart opportunity standing right in front of you today. Your brain sees risk and triggers the same alarm. This is why people with a history of financial failure often stay stuck in poverty. It's not just bad luck or poor skills, it's a trauma response. Their nervous system has learned that money is dangerous. Taking action is dangerous. So their body literally prevents them from taking the actions they need to build wealth. The fear becomes the cage, and because it's neurological, it feels real. It feels true. It feels like you're being smart and careful when actually you're being held prisoner by your own biology. Most people never recognize this because they're taught to blame themselves. They think they're lazy. They think they lack discipline. They think they're just not the type of person who gets rich. But the truth is far more specific and far more treatable. You have a nervous system that's been shaped by scarcity, by loss, by unprocessed financial fear. Your body has learned patterns that no longer serve you. And the good news is that neural patterns can be rewired. Your brain isn't fixed. It's plastic. It can change. But first, you have to see the trap. You have to understand how your ancient survival instincts are sabotaging your modern financial future. You have to recognize that the voice telling you it's too risky, that you're not ready, that people like you don't get wealthy, it's imprisoning you. In the next section, we're going to break the code. We're going to show you exactly how to rewire your money operating system so your brain starts working for you instead of against you. And here's the truth that neuroscience has finally confirmed. Your fear response isn't permanent. It's not hardwired. It's a pattern. And patterns can be interrupted, rewritten, and replaced with new ones that serve you instead of sabotage you. The brain that learned to be afraid of money can learn to be attracted to it. This is called neuroplasticity, and it's the biological foundation of real change. The first shift happens when you stop treating risk as a threat and start treating it as information. Your amygdala, that ancient fear center, it's designed to detect danger. But danger and uncertainty aren't the same thing. When you invest money, when you start a business, when you take a calculated financial step, you're not in physical danger. You're gathering data. The brain that understands this distinction stops flooding your body with cortisol and adrenaline. Instead, it activates your prefrontal cortex, the part that plans, analyzes, and strategizes. You become the architect of your decisions instead of a prisoner of your instincts. This reframing is powerful because it changes what your brain pays attention to. Where you used to see, I might lose everything, you now see, what can I learn from this outcome? That single shift moves you from paralysis to engagement. Your nervous system calms, your thinking clarifies. You start noticing opportunities that were always there but invisible to the fearful version of you. The second shift is building financial self-efficacy. This is the deep, embodied belief that you're capable of handling money, making smart decisions, and recovering from mistakes. Self-efficacy isn't confidence. Confidence is fragile and depends on outcomes. Self-efficacy is competence. It's built through small, repeated wins. You make a budget and stick to it. Win. You research an investment and understand it before committing. Win. You face a financial setback and solve it instead of spiraling. Win. Each win rewires your neural pathways. Your brain literally strengthens the connections associated with financial capability. After enough of these experiences, your default response to a money decision shifts from I can't to I can figure this out. That's not psychology, that's neurology. And here's what happens next. Your brain's reward system gets redirected. Remember, fear and desire both light up the same reward pathways. The brain doesn't distinguish between craving money and craving safety. They activate the same dopamine circuits. So when you break the fear pattern, you don't eliminate the drive. You redirect it. Suddenly, the thought of building wealth, of understanding compound interest, of watching your money work for you, it triggers the same reward hit that used to come from avoiding risk. Your brain starts pulling you toward wealth instead of pushing you away from loss. Wealth accumulation stops feeling like swimming upstream and starts feeling like flowing downstream. This is the crucial moment where most people don't realize they've already won. They're waiting for some external permission or some magical threshold of confidence. But the work is already done. Your fear circuit has been interrupted. Your risk perception has been recalibrated. Your reward system is now aligned with your goals. What's left isn't struggle. What's left is momentum. You start automating your investments because they no longer feel scary. They feel like feeding your future. You start educating yourself about finances, not from desperation, but from genuine interest. You notice market dips and see opportunity instead of catastrophe. You talk about money with friends and family without shame because you're no longer defending yourself. You're sharing insight. Your relationship with wealth has fundamentally transformed from adversarial to collaborative. The final revelation is this. Financial success isn't actually difficult. What was difficult was the internal war. What was difficult was your own brain working against your own goals. But once that's resolved, Once your neurology is aligned with your ambitions, success becomes almost inevitable. Not guaranteed, you still have to show up and do the work, but inevitable in the sense that you're no longer fighting yourself. You're no longer leaking energy through anxiety and avoidance. Every ounce of effort goes into building instead of defending. You'll reach a point, maybe weeks or months from now, where you'll realize you made a financial decision that the old version of you would have found terrifying. And you made it calmly, thoughtfully, without drama. That's the moment you'll know you've truly broken the code. Your money operating system isn't just repaired, it's been upgraded. Your brain, which was once your greatest obstacle, becomes your greatest asset in building the wealth you deserve. If this framework helped you see your relationship with money differently, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps us reach more people who need this message. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the specific practices that rewire these patterns, subscribe so you don't miss the tools that transform understanding into results. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today.